don't have any problem making decisions, and I'll make it when it's time's right, but now's probably not the right time to make it.
What do you think Jameis's biggest issue was today?
That's pretty simple, turning it over. I mean, overthrows. You know, yeah, it was a very windy day. It wasn't the easiest day to throw it, but you know, 2 of the 4 were just, the ball was just overthrown.
2 of those 4 interceptions were absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, listen, that was
so bad.
It looked like he was not going to entertain the answer, and then he did. Then it looked like, you know, overthrows.
I feel like he caught himself a little there.
He's obviously perturbed by the whole situation, but yeah, I thought there was a decent answer on the back end there as he was going to dismiss it at first.
Right. And it's true. The overthrows there
he was
were the problem.
He's probably saying he's trying to cut it through the wind because it was
13
windy.
interceptions in his last 5 games.
Mike Rob's going to say that
windy and it was well, people talk about it being windy. Okay, I got my stats right here. Okay, Jameis Winston, 18 for 35, 276 yards, 1 TD, 4 interceptions. Same game plan, same wind conditions, same everything. Ryan Fitzpatrick goes on 11 for 15, 194 yards, 2 TDs, 0 interceptions. So the environment affected one guy, but didn't affect the other guy.
It's weird how that
Maybe
happens.
It stopped.
Yeah, the wind, it just stopped, probably.
They're in the jungle. You know?
Come on, Sean.
It's crazy.
Come on.
I'm with you.
13 interceptions in the last 5 games. At some point, you have to say, maybe he's not a starter for our team.
That's the first thing that I thought about this. If they do end up keeping Ryan Fitzpatrick in the lineup, that probably helps with Deshaun Jackson, who just asked for a trade, because him and Fitzpatrick have some pretty good chemistry going on. And I feel like those players really do respond to Fitzpatrick better than they respond to Winston.
Those players,
saying something about Jameis.
I was down there the week that Jameis came back, and Ian reported on this, I reported on this, that a lot of guys in the locker felt like that week Dirk Cutter was laying the groundwork for Jameis Winston to come back as soon as Fitzpatrick slipped up, and he had the worst possible game he could have in Chicago that week. Maybe he felt Jameis breathing down his neck. So now, if you're Cutter, okay, you've got 2 options that really aren't great. You've got Jameis Winston not playing well, so you can stick with him. Or you can go back to Ryan Fitzpatrick, in which case the locker room's going to say, dude, this was the guy that we wanted in there the whole time. So it's a really pivotal point for Dirk Cutter. And I understand why he went back to Jameis when Fitzpatrick slipped up.
Please.
Because he's looking at it long term. He's thinking about his job, and he's thinking about the direction of the franchise and saying, well, if I can get this guy back in here to play well, hey, look what I'm doing with this guy. This is why I should remain the coach.
But if he's thinking of his job, he should be starting
That's what I'm saying. And if it looks like a duck, sounds like, I mean, you got to call a spade at some point, right?
For what?
I'm talking about Jameis Winston. I mean, you at some point you got to say, no, my job, I have my job based off of us winning games. And Ryan Fitzpatrick gives me a better chance to win games.
What do you think?
Well, this is the problem that plagued Jameis Winston in college. Coming out in the draft, everybody said, well, he's reckless with the football. And we're seeing the same thing show up time and time again. The Bucs, listen, they're not good enough to win games turning the football over. I mean, their defense has already given up 33 points a game. You add 4 turnovers to it, it makes it even worse. Mike Smith just got fired a week ago. All right, so you can't win games turning the ball over, especially not on the road. Now, here's the problem to me is you go from the pan to the fire. I mean, whether you want, you could debate this all you want. Fitzpatrick or Winston, they both throw picks. Yeah. I mean, Fitzpatrick, his last game as a starter, he threw 3 picks in like 6 minutes. So, I mean, to me, I look at this team and I say, okay, we got a defensive struggle. Maybe we need to run the football a little bit more. Maybe we need to stop throwing the ball.
They already said they're a pass-first team.
Well, how's that working out? You know, I mean, but I will say this. I think the way that Jameis handled it, hey, look, I've got to play better. Okay, that's good to see. It's good to see him stepping up, showing some ownership. As a quarterback, you have to take care of that ball like your Gollum, my precious.
I don't know. Now you're
Lord of the Rings right there.
I figured it. You're outside my realm.
More coffee for Mike.
Jameis went more books. I'm going to have to read books.
I can tell you something about Lord of the Rings.
Hold on. Jameis Winston, before we go way off the rails, Jameis Winston next year, $21 million guaranteed for injury only. So
wrap him up in bubble.
That's what the Redskins did with RG3, because you don't want the guy getting hurt and being on the hook for that. If you're not going to commit to him for the future, these are the conversations and the thoughts that they need.
Honestly, do you really? And I'm going to ask you,
that's a math question.
You've been in the locker room. Do you really think Jameis Winston should be the starting quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going forward for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I mean, I think this was a tough game for him. I want to see how he bounces back. So I would
15 interceptions in 5 games.
Yeah,
what would you do if you were the coach?
If I was the coach, I would still play him because I still think he gives us the best chance to win. And as you know, man, we're in the locker room. Who gives us the best chance to win?
That's all
And
you
know
guys
what?
care about.
If
Yep.
we go Jameis Winston. I don't care if it's Jameis or if it's Fitzpatrick. We're going to ride with either one of you guys. But all we want to do is win, because at the end of the day, that's what this game is about. I don't care what your record is. I don't care what week it is. And you know what? I told Winston, hey, look, if you throw 2 picks, you're gone.
But Sean, I'm just being honest. I've been in a quarterback competition. It was in college, but that's a lot of pressure. You know, every pass I throw now is like, I hope it doesn't get picked. You know what I mean? Because you know there's a guy that they're willing to put in.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to know that, though. I mean, he knows there's already pressure on him with the way Fitzpatrick played early on. And coming back, he felt like, man, I got to keep up with this. So.
By the way, the Bengals, just like one word on them, they allowed 576 yards in this game, in a game that Jameis Winston was benched. They barely won this game. That's not great for them. I mean, they are
4 interceptions
so
and you barely
close
win.
And you barely
to being
won.
3 straight losses.
We should have been talking about them more.
Shout out
Listen,
to
we'll come
Joe
back.
Mixon.
Okay.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon, great game.
Baller.
Tyler Boyd, great game.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.